Hey guys, this is Clinton Jeff from UnleashThePhones.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about the HTC RE. When the HTC RE was announced, I was immediately intrigued by it. I'm a big fan of Sony's QX lenses, but they're kind of expensive and kind of slow. The RE camera works in a very similar way, but is much faster and much more convenient to carry around, though the quality might not be as amazing as Sony's QX lenses. In fact, the HTC RE is very similar to action cameras like the GoPro, but HTC has stated that the RE does not compete with the GoPro at all. In fact, HTC calls the RE a lifestyle camera, which, as you can probably tell, is something that they expect you to carry around wherever you go, throughout whatever situation in your daily routine, quick enough to be used while you're on a walk or when you're in a car, yet inconspicuous enough that you can use it while you're on a picnic and hanging out with friends, or simply just a day at the beach. It's something that is very easy to carry around in your purse or in your pocket, and it doesn't look anything like a traditional camera does. But unlike most cameras, the HTC RE is also lacking a viewfinder, which makes it a little strange to use at first, but it definitely adds to the whole impromptu photo-taking ideology behind this camera. It's a unique, fun little camera that intrigued me enough that I went out and bought one for myself. So here's what I think about the HTC RE. Alright, starting with design, the HTC RE doesn't look anything like a traditional camera does at all. In fact, the design might be the first thing that most people will notice about it. It kind of looks like a periscope or even maybe an inhaler. While I've been using the RE, my friends have called it all sorts of things, but it definitely doesn't look anything like a normal camera does. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that when you're using it in public, somebody will ask you about it, mostly because they want to know why you're pointing an asthma inhaler towards things. So yes, it definitely stands out, but to make it even more attractive, the HTC RE is available in a whole bunch of colors. You get it in the standard white color, and you get it in a dark shade of blue. You also get it in a really nice shade of red and a really nice shade of green, which unfortunately isn't available here in India, so I got the blue one. The RE also happens to be very lightweight at just 66 grams. It measures about 96 millimeters in length and 28 millimeters in width. Looking at the RE, there's only one large one-stage shutter button at the back. It's situated right where you would place your thumb when you're holding the camera. It's oddly comfortable to hold, and the button itself is very clicky, and it's really appreciated since you don't have a viewfinder on this thing, and a click is the only way you'll be able to know if you've taken a picture or not. As you can guess, one short press takes a picture while one long press starts the video recording. There's also another button that's situated at the front. Long pressing that button at the front switches the RE into a slow motion mode where you can take slow motion videos. So basically, using the RE is easy enough to understand, and you get the hang of it within a couple of minutes. There are also two LED indicator lights to let you know what's going on. One LED is right at the front right over there, while the other LED is built into the shutter button itself. These LEDs light up when you're interacting with the RE. For example, a green indicator will let you know when you've taken a picture. When you're taking a video, it will start blinking red. When you toggle the slow motion video, it switches to a blue color indicator just to let you know. There's also two microphones built into the HTC RE. One's at the top right over there, and one's right at the front. Now below the RE, things get a little bit messy because that's where the micro USB charging port is, the standard tripod mount right over there, and a tiny little flap where the micro SD card slot is. Now even though the micro SD card slot is exposed, the HTC RE is still waterproof. It comes with IPX7 certification, which means that you can submerge it into water up to 1 meter depth or 3 feet of depth for up to 30 minutes. HTC also sells a waterproof cap that brings the RE up to IPX8 waterproof rating, which allows you to use it in water up to 3 meters for up to 2 hours. HTC also says that the RE is saltwater proof, but I've been using the white one in salt water for the last 1 week, and the micro USB port is pretty rusted up, so I definitely wouldn't recommend taking this into salt water, at least not without the waterproof cap. Speaking of accessories, the HTC's made a whole bunch of add-ons for the HTC RE. There's a RE charging stand, a RE extended battery, there's even a bar mount for your bike or your boat, and a clip-on so you can attach it to your shirt or backpack. There's even a suction mount that you can use to attach the RE to your car. All of these are available on HTC's RE website. All in all, the design of the HTC RE is very unique, but more importantly, the camera is very comfortable to hold and use. It's also small enough that it's very easy to carry in your pocket or in your backpack, and it's also very inconspicuous to use when you're out and about. Alright, let's talk about software. The HTC RE can be switched on and used to take pictures or video right out of the box, but if you really want to take advantage of it, you might want to use the HTC RE Companion app. The Companion app is available for iOS, so you can use it with an iPhone or an iPad. It's also compatible with any Android device that's on version version 4.3 or newer. This is pretty big because rival products like the Polaroid Cube don't have a companion app that you can use with your phone, and the app interface itself is actually very easy and straightforward to use. The app basically extends the capabilities of your HTC RE camera. First up, you can use it as a viewfinder, so as you can see right over here, I can make it remotely take pictures of me if I want to, or other things. There is some noticeable lag when you're using the RE and moving it around and what's being displayed on the viewfinder itself, which is similar to what we saw on the Sony QX lenses, but it's not really too bad over here. The app also allows you to tweak some of the settings of the HTC RE. For example, you can switch video resolution from 1080p 30 fps to 720p 30 fps. You can also switch image resolution from a 16 megapixel 4:3 aspect ratio to a 12 megapixel 16:9 aspect ratio, or a 8.3 megapixel 16:9 ratio as well. You can also toggle the ultra wide angle mode in case you want something more fun. You can also toggle the time-lapse countdown light, and you have the ability to choose whether the RE should use the phone's location to geotag images that you take. Lastly, you can also change the volume of the camera shutter sound or turn it off completely. There's quite a lot of settings to tweak with, though of course you don't have the ability to tweak ISO, exposure levels, or anything more intricate. My favorite feature though is that the companion app allows you to take time lapses with the HTC RE. You can just leave your RE somewhere and start the time lapse on your phone and then walk around, do whatever you want, come back after the time lapse is done and connect it and view it right on your phone. That's actually really cool, and I'm being slightly addicted to taking time lapses if you check my Instagram account. So you might be wondering, how does the HTC RE connect to your phone? Just like any accessory, the RE pairs with your phone over Bluetooth. But then things get a little more complicated. Basically, the RE creates an ad hoc wireless network using the built-in wireless module, and the app connects your phone to the RE, allowing images and videos to be transferred using that Wi-Fi network. This network between your RE and your phone only occurs when you're browsing content that's on your RE using the companion app, so you might notice your phone disconnecting from any other Wi-Fi networks when this happens. Everything works pretty well unless you're in an area which has a lot of Wi-Fi connections, and then the connection might be a little unstable between them. So yes, lastly, the app also allows you to manage the media that's taken on your HTC RE. You can delete or view images or videos right over here in the app itself. You can also choose to have the RE automatically back up all the images it takes to your phone and then delete it from the RE in case you want that. Alright, so let's talk about camera quality. The HTC RE comes with a fixed focus camera. It boasts a 16 megapixel 1x2.3 inch Sony CMOS sensor. This also happens to be the same size sensor that's on the Sony Xperia Z3 and the Z2. That works out to about 1.34 microns, which is more than the usual 1.1 micron pixels that you get from most flagship phones nowadays. Theoretically, this means that it is great for low light. Along with all of that, there's also a 146 degree ultra wide angle lens with an aperture of f2.8 and a focal length of 17 millimeters. That means that this camera is indeed very wide. In fact, the lens on the RE is so wide that you can just pretty much point it at your subject and it will definitely be in the frame of shot, though you might take some trial and error to get the hang of it. But in spite of all of that, the first thing that stood out to me is that yes, indeed, the camera is fixed focus. This means whatever you take a picture of, it'll be in focus as long as it's not too close to the camera. So you can pretty much rule out any close-up or macro shots. This also means that images taken look kind of flat and they lack the shallowness and the depth of field. Overall image quality is pretty decent, but does fall short of the camera quality that you get from many flagship phones nowadays, like the Lumia 930, the iPhone 6, or even the Sony Xperia Z3 itself, which has the same size sensor. If you tend to look at picture quality a lot, you will find a lot of flaws with the images taken with the HTC RE. Images generally have below average detail, and that's even in the 16 megapixel shots, and colors do tend to appear slightly dull. There's also a lot of over sharpening halo artifacts that occur, and generally pictures tend to look a little over processed and a little smudgy. The RE also tends to have issues with exposure, and the very wide angle lens is appreciated but does tend to bring in barrel distortion towards the center of most pictures, and that's all in proper daytime situations. In low light scenarios, it gets even harder to take a clear picture. Because of the slow shutter speed, you'll often end up with very blurry shots at night, and as expected, noise is also a bit of an issue. As a result, once the sun sets, I don't use my HTC RE at all. There's also a very noticeable shutter lag on the HTC RE. It's really bad when you first pick up the HTC RE and take a picture, but once it gets kind of warmed up, the lag isn't that bad, but it is definitely annoying to say the least. All that being said, the HTC RE is great for taking selfies and much better than your average front-facing camera, and that reason alone might make the RE worth it to some of you all watching. Coming to video recording, the HTC RE can record 1080p or 720p video at 30 frames per second. You can also take slow motion video at slow down 4x at 120 frames per second. Of course, slow motion videos are recorded at 720p resolution. Just like in images, video quality had a lot of dull colors. Details are also noticeably soft. The digital stabilization that the RE has does a good job of making sure videos are smooth, though it isn't quite as effective as optical image stabilization. Audio quality recorded in videos is kind of hissy and does tend to lack clarity. Even though there are two microphones, the stream is recorded in mono, which is sufficient but not too great. As always guys, I have a whole bunch of camera samples from the HTC RE right over on UnleashThePhones.com, so you can check that out if you want a better idea of how good or bad the HTC RE camera quality is. My favorite feature of the HTC RE has to be that you can take time lapses with it. The camera takes one 16 megapixel shot at a predefined interval. This is all done using the companion app, and you can choose how long the time lapse will be, and you can also choose how often the RE takes a picture. The companion app automatically combines all these pictures into one very cool looking time lapse. Again, I also have a whole bunch of time lapse samples that I've uploaded right over on UnleashThePhones.com. Right, so while the HTC RE might not be great at camera quality, it does have some advantages over a traditional camera. For one thing, it's incredibly easy to use. You just pick it up and hold it to activate it from standby, and immediately you can start recording a video of your pet, or you can hold it up and take a really high over the head shot, or you can just point it towards you and take a selfie. The RE definitely allows for a lot of different perspectives, and it's a very comfortable to use device as well. The lack of a viewfinder and power button actually seems to be the highlight of this camera, because you don't have to wait for it to switch on and then stare into a screen while you're taking a picture. Instead, the built-in grip sensor automatically knows when you're holding the HTC RE and switches it on. And while the lack of a viewfinder might be annoying at first, I actually found myself framing pictures with my eyes instead. And as always, in case you really want to frame a picture well, you can use the companion app on your phone. It's hard to explain, but it actually is kind of liberating how you can take the HTC RE out of your pocket and take a picture or video right immediately. In fact, it's so convenient and easy to use that I think I took more pictures and selfies with it in one day than I have with most other camera phones. Alright, that brings me to battery life. The HTC RE is powered by 820 mAh battery. According to HTC, that should be good for 1200 photos or about 1 hour and 50 minutes of video. In my usage, I found that it was pretty accurate, but I should note that the battery is not user replaceable, and the only way you can check battery status is using the companion app. Personally, I was okay with the battery life. I kind of do wish it was at least double that, but to its credit, the HTC RE does charge up fairly quickly, and it does charge via a micro USB port, so you can use your portable charger to top it up whenever you wanted to go longer. Alright, to conclude, the HTC RE is definitely a very unique camera that's actually really fun to use. It's a very appealing device to carry around, though the $200 price tag does mean that it is kind of expensive, especially when you compare it to other action cameras like the Polaroid Cube, which is just $100, and GoPros start going for about $150. In fact, the HTC RE's price actually puts it very close to the Sony QX lens prices, and the QX lenses do have better camera quality and kind of work in the same way, though they are slower to use. But yes, the HTC RE is not just an action camera, it is more of a lifestyle camera, and as such you can use it when you're just taking a walk down the street or when you're hanging out with friends. It really is very convenient to use, and you'll actually want to take it out and take pictures with it, and the really unique form factor does mean that you will take a lot of pictures in a lot of different perspectives. That being said, the HTC RE is not for people that want fantastic image quality or even video quality. The soft details and dullish colors might be fixed in a software update later on, but for a time being, images taken with the HTC RE are just not that great, especially when you consider the $200 price tag. At the same time, the images and videos taken with the HTC RE aren't exactly very bad either. At the end of it all, I'm actually still very happy with my purchase of the HTC RE. I've been using it for about a month and I'm still using it every day. For moments when I want to take a really well composed great shot, I will take out my phone, but for moments like when I take my dog for a walk or when I hang out with my friends, the HTC RE does come in very handy. So that's what I think about the HTC RE camera, guys. As always, you can find more details and camera samples right over on UnleashThePhones.com. But as always, if you have any questions, you can let me know right in the comment section below. And that's about it for me. As always, if you guys like this video, maybe hit that like button and maybe subscribe, because that would be appreciated. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.